We have with us today in José Muñoz, really one of the great leaders of the global mobility industry and business. José is the president and global CEO of Hyundai Motor Company. You may, if you read the newspapers and if you read Semafor, you will know that Hyundai Motor Company is on a bit of a tear as a company, meaning that's an American expression, meaning doing extremely well through a lot of product innovation, a lot of sustainability-focused strategies, and all across the world. And actually, one of the key architects of this strategy is with us today. So welcome, José. We're delighted to have you.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you for having me in such a nice event. This is really the Davos of Washington, D.C.
Oh, thank you. I did not ask him to say that, actually.
No, he did not. I just said it myself.
Well, listen, I know that Hyundai Motor Group is not, it's a company from South Korea originally, hugely famous in Asia and in that part of the world. But here in the U.S., it's I think the scale and the ambition is not that well understood. So maybe you could perhaps spend a few minutes giving us an overview of what you're up to at the Hyundai Motor Company.
Well, that's really a pleasure. So the Hyundai Motor Group is really a very kind of a comprehensive conglomerate, right? So people know us because of our automotive business. In reality, we have several brands. We have the Hyundai brand, Kia, and Genesis. But we are so-called vertically integrated. So not so many people know that we are producing steel, as an example. We are also the global leader in logistics with Glovis. So we do logistics of our vehicles and our competitors as well. We own a company, robotic companies called Boston Dynamics, 80%. Which, as you know, has also the Boston Dynamics AI, artificial intelligence. A lot of people talking about it now, right? Yeah. So we've been working on that for years. We, for example, have a 50% joint venture in Motional, which is an autonomous driving technology company. We do our own advertising within Ocean. We have created an eVTOL company, Supernal, electric vertical takeoff and landing. And then as we speak, because we are, I would say, South Korea is the biggest ally to the United States, we believe this is the most important market for us, representing about 25% of our global business, much more in profits, but also the fastest growing. And we are all in the future in the US with big investments, namely in Savannah, with assembly plant, with battery plant joint venture, with yet a second battery plant joint venture. I'm sure through the conversation we'll give you much more data.
So backing up a little bit, so you talked about this sort of sprawling, vertically integrated company, but to all the consumers of automotive products in the room, which is everyone, what is the automotive business? I mean, how big are you relative to your competitors? Are you across the board and maybe in some of the newer electric vehicles?
So Hyundai Motor Group is now the third global OEM after Toyota and Volkswagen. And we are also the third one in America in retail sales. So this is quite a lot. Yeah, we are the third. And we are the second one in terms of EV sales after Tesla and closing the gap step by step. So
second after Tesla?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Interesting. How was it like to compete with Tesla?
It is tough. it is tough, but we do our best. We got a great product. So we're the only brand who decided to create a sub-brand, so-called Ioniq, for electric exclusive platform vehicles. And then Ioniq 5, 2 years ago, was elected the World Car of the Year, the EV Car of the Year, the Design Car of the Year. Last year, Ioniq 6, same thing. And this year, the first time ever, just 3 weeks ago, I was in New York getting the World Performance Car of the Year with the Ioniq 5N, 600 horsepower.
So, okay, I mean, Tesla is, obviously one of the greatest stories of innovation and growth. Obviously, it's tied with some broader issues as well. But what was it like coming into this market and taking on this iconic American company? And how did you get to number 2? Was it? I mean, what was the formula? Was it? It must have been innovation based because Tesla is the icon of innovation.
Well, the Summit of Innovation is our executive chair, Mr. Chung. He is our chairman, and then he is very innovative, very forward-looking, and then bringing new ideas, new technologies. So the first thing we did, we were the first ones to bring exclusive battery electric platform, so-called EGMP. Right, so it's very difficult to compete with guys who have exclusive battery EV platform like Tesla. So most of our competitors do a car which has 2 different technologies in the same car. So you cannot optimize, you cannot get all the benefits of the EVs, right?
And so a decision like that, does that take many, many years to implement? I mean, when was that decision taken?
This is, our company applies a Korean concept that we call the pali pali. So extremely fast. So gather the elements very quickly, and then the chairman decides immediately on what is the right thing, and the execution is the fastest in the industry. This is a South Korean power, and our company is the best example of that. Very fast.
It sounds just like Elon Musk sleeping in the factory.
Well, I think we talk less, we do more.
Okay, interesting. So the American market obviously is a priority market for you. With all this success on product and innovation and this rapid Korean-style execution, what is happening on the ground in America right now? Where is Hyundai investing? The EV market obviously has been a huge growth area. It's seeing a little bit of some sputters. People are saying the hybrid market might be showing more growth. So give us the Hyundai Motor Group's or company's U.S. strategy right now.
Absolutely. So we've seen, whilst most people are thinking that the electric world is not going to get to the expected level, what we see is that definitely there is growth. And just to give you some data points, outside of the US, more or less, the global battery EV market is about 20%. Here we are today at 8%. And a lot of people are saying that they don't see the future. In our case, last year we doubled the sales of EVs with the Ioniq 5, Ioniq 6, etc. On all electrified vehicles, including hybrid and plug-in hybrid and hydrogen, we grew about 50%, and then in total an 11%. So it means the battery electric vehicles are the ones driving our growth. So when it comes to how we see the market, so we still see EV is going to be the technology of the future, but beyond that, we are advocating for the hydrogen, right? So, and then we want to ensure that when we do something which is good for the environment, it is complete, and we want the full ecosystem to be completed. So I just mentioned at the beginning that we are investing big time in Savannah, Georgia, with.
Is that a new investment?
It is a brand new investment, which is going to be online in October this year. It's a $12.6 billion investment.
All right, so when was that decision taken, and when did you?
That was 2 years ago. And then, meanwhile, a lot of companies are still struggling with the EV battery development. Our company said, okay, we go. Then IRA hit. It was not good for us because we didn't qualify. And then we doubled down. And then we are still on time. So in a record time of 18 months, since we started construction till we will start producing cars, we're going to be in production. Imagine this, so it's 12,000 direct jobs. We're going to bring to the region 40,000 jobs. We have invested also in a battery assembly plant together with LG Energy Solutions, and then yet another battery plant with SK On in Bartow, Georgia. So according to the Center for Automotive Research, in 2021, before we even started this investment, we were having an impact already in the country of about $20 billion, 190,000 employees, right? So it's huge undertaking, and then we can wait to get all this and to start selling vehicles to the market.
So when does the first EV, is it an EV factory exclusively?
It is in principle an EV factory exclusively, but we're going to be flexible. If we need to adjust, for example, to hybrid, we'll be ready to go. So normally October this year, we want to be in production, and then so far so good. I was there last week in Savannah, and also we went to our other plant in Montgomery, Alabama, we're ready.
And talk us about, does Hyundai have a different approach to sustainability beyond obviously the contributions to sustainability that your EV kind of innovation is bringing?
Yes. So we really want to ensure we are really sustainable. So like, for example, you see a lot of these EV plants, and then the cars come in and out with diesel trucks, right? So we are building the ecosystem to be able to produce hydrogen, so that with hydrogen we can fuel cell EV trucks, and then those are the trucks that are going to start doing the parts logistics and the vehicle logistics, both inbound and outbound. If you do that, and for example, you add the creation of energy with waste, which we can do, we presented at CES in January, or with plastic, or even better yet with the SMRs, small modular reactors, nuclear energy, then you have a perfect cycle of creation of energy, which is green, hydrogen, trucks, battery electric vehicles, so on and so forth. This is a real 100% commitment.
So sort of an end-to-end strategy. So now, again, let's go back to the consumers and I think everyone reads about the advances in technology, and obviously everyone's been reading and talking about autonomous cars for a long time. First it was 5 years, then it was 10 years, then it's longer. Now we're, even your company has invested in a flying car, the type of technology and company. Tell the people in the room, really how is this going to evolve? When are we first going to see the first gee whiz? Oh my goodness, I can't believe this technology is actually happening. Is there going to be a moment in time when everyone's going to feel like, oh my God, this is here, or is it going to slowly be introduced across different existing products?
Like everything is going to be step by step, but there gets a moment that you achieve the critical mass, and then all of a sudden you realize it's there. So if you go today to Vegas, you can drive our Ioniq 5s, which are running on the Motional platform. And this is the autonomous driving technology. And then people are saying, is this good, is this bad? In reality, when you're driving yourself, sometimes you're tired. And then you just have one dimension. I look forward, I can hear, but I have very limited senses on what's happening around me. With the technologies of videos and LiDAR and radar and laser, you know everything around your car. The car can talk to other car, the car can talk to the infrastructure, and therefore they are safer. So the cars don't get tired. As an example, the sensors keep working 24/7. They don't drink, right? So they are definitely safer. And then the same technology you can utilize in aviation. So Supernal is also going to develop this autonomous flying technology, which we are testing as we speak in California. We're based here in DC.
Have you done a test yourself?
I did yesterday, but it was a simulator. So we're going to have the first prototype flying by the end of this year.
What was it like? What was the simulator like?
It is really unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. You are like in a cabin, you're like in a plane, and then you see the airplane, and then it's reacting to what you do. And then the good thing is that if you do something wrong, they don't let you do something wrong.
The computer takes over.
It helps you. So it's really fantastic technology, very fast, very, very lean. And then the good thing is that all these, the bases, the fundamentals of the business are similar, right? So the software-derived vehicles, the software technology is utilized also for Supernal and for our cars, right? So it's all connected, and that's why we decided to get into the Boston Dynamics and into Motional and into Supernal. It's all connected to mobility. Our mission is progress for humanity, and we want to move people from A to C in a very smooth way and safe, without any events, so that you can get closer to your loved ones without any event.
So how many employees, Hyundai Motor Company or group?
So we have, Hyundai Motor Group globally is about 300,000.
Okay.
In the US alone, direct and indirect, we're 114 today.
So I wanted to ask the question for this follow-up question. So you are one of the key leaders of 150,000 people. Your mission is to innovate faster. You've got competitors like Elon Musk. I mean, we've had a lot of CEOs on stage here today from some of the great companies, and I certainly think you fall into that category. How do you get 150,000 people to constantly innovate and move fast?
Well, there are in fact
As a leader.
In fact, it's 300,000. But then the
300,000
number
people.
one is double. The number one thing, you need to have a very, very strong leader. And then we have really strong leader who is our chairman, whom you know very well, Chairman Chung. And then we have a really strong organization, everyone aligned. The moment the decision, the company takes a decision, everybody is aligned. And we apply, we call it the Pali Pali Miri Miri. We have really a very strong stretch plan, and then we try to do even faster adaptation. So everybody knows that the success is not about staying the course only. You need to be perseverant and stay the course. The success is to be able to adjust constantly to what is happening, and there is nobody like our company to adjust to the environment.
But is that a set of cultural values and cultural behaviors, or is it a set of technocratic processes?
It is a combination, but it's part of the culture of the company. I think it's part of the country itself, South Korea being such a leading country in the world in terms of technology, in terms of growth. And our company is the largest company in South Korea, is the biggest example of all that, and our leader even more so. We do our best everywhere, and let me tell you that it's an undertaking for me, being the only non-Korean member of the board of our South Korean company. It is, you need to be even faster because you have to hear in Korean, get the translation, you have to be fast understanding, reacting. I cannot be behind.
Does it help that you're Spanish?
I'm Spanish born. I'm very, very proud, but I'm also American citizen, so it helps. I think we have a special resilience.
Well, I want to finish on just one question because we're here at the World Economy Summit, and much of the conversation is about the state of the global economy, how the rest of the year 2024 is how the U.S. economy is doing relative to obviously the Chinese economy and some of the larger the EU bloc. You obviously operate in all these different markets. What are you seeing across your dashboard of the 2024 and even beyond 2025 global economy?
So we see a lot of things changing, and we need to adjust to that. So what we try to do is to understand what drives that change. Everybody knows about the two large conflicts today in the world, right? And then the first one in Ukraine, and the second one in the Middle East. So what happened with Ukraine is that a lot of the cheap energy source from Russia into Europe was cut. So then this drove a complete different flow of energy in the world. So the energy from Russia went into China, went into India. Cheap energy, very competitive. So now the Chinese are more competitive, and they're producing more vehicles, and they're sending them back to Russia. Then the Europeans got no energy for many years. They did not invest in some key technologies like nuclear, with the exception of France, for example. But then Germany has been a country which has been particularly impacted by the low energy supply that they used to have from Russia. So they have to buy from the United States at a higher cost, right? So bottom line, the US has become indirectly a winner of this conflict. I think China has become a winner. Russia is now supplying to other countries, so they have maintained. So for the time being, Europe has been losing. So, and this we see a little bit in the numbers in our business. We just saw today that China announced a GDP growth of 5.3, which is quite a good number. Not the one that they used to have 10 years ago, but still a very good number, which shows the reality of that market. And then I would like to make the point that the number one sector that has been growing for China is been the electric vehicle sector, and also the solar panels. So as such, our market, the US market, is still quite positive. It's been growing about 5% so far, which is not bad at all. Everybody was expecting, because of the high interest rates, the market was going to collapse. It's not the case. There's still pent-up demand. And we've seen a change in the behavior of the consumer, moving into maybe a little bit cheaper cars or more entry cars as opposed to premium cars. But still, let's say, cautiously optimistic in America. And then we've seen also a very strong future growth in India. So we are the second brand in India. People wouldn't know that. People think Tata is an Indian company, is the largest. Well, it's not. So the number one is Suzuki Maruti, and Hyundai is the number one in India with about 15% share. So this is a growing market where we're doing very well. Middle East, we are surprised that it's not collapsing as everybody thought. It's still giving us relatively good surprise. But as I mentioned earlier, the USA is our most important market today, representing more than 25% of the total business. And we are cautiously optimistic, increasing capacity. If you told me what could you do to do better business, I would tell you I need more production of Santa Fe, I need more production of Tucson, I need more of the electric vehicles that we're going to start producing in Savannah. So it's more a race to produce more than anything else. So we have to work every day.
Well, listen, we've run out of time. This has been a fascinating conversation. Thank you so much for coming and spending some time with us. Please join me in giving applause to José Muñoz.
Thank you.